Welcome everyone to Writing Nonfiction Book, Steps to Success. Hello everyone, Randy Carney here with another session of Walking with Randy. And we're having a new Writing Nonfiction Book Facebook Live. And this is for every author who wants to lay out his or her book plan and get started writing a great nonfiction book. Now here's the plan. Step number 1, come up with the big idea. Figure out what the reader's main desires are. Figure out what it is that he or she most wants to accomplish. And if your desire is to write a nonfiction book, well then the first thing is to figure out what the main thing your reader desires. Another way of looking at that is, what is the main problem he or she wants to overcome? Step number 2, figure out the problem you're going to solve. Now, you may have already done that, trying to figure out the big idea, the main point of what it is that you want to write. But if you haven't already figured that out, then moving from the main idea, look at a specific problem that your reader would like to have solved. Another thing to think about is, what have been his or her past obstacles in this area? Obviously, they haven't overcome all of those obstacles yet, or they would have no need for writing the book that you're planning on writing. So, figure out what the big problem is you're going to solve. So now you have the big idea, and you also have it stated with the major problem that you're going to solve. Step number 3, and I'm going to use the word step again within this step. Step number 3 is to list steps taking the reader from where they are now to where they want to be. How do you get started? That's often the main thing for someone trying to solve a problem. Just where do you start? Well, analyze that situation and help them answer that question. How do you get started? Another thing is to figure out what obstacles will have to be overcome to go from where the reader is now to where they want to be. What will be those obstacles and how can you overcome them? Once you have those general ideas for your steps, then figure out what is the first baby step to take. And then you list that as the first step. Obviously, then after that, you think about other steps that lead toward success in that area. Now, arrange them in the best order. It may be chronological, or there may be some other arrangement, but arrange them in the best order. Then list this. You have the first step written down, list the second step, then the third, and so forth. Try to come up with at least 8 steps, 8 or more steps to get to the solution. Now you have the general idea of how you're going to get there. You just keep dividing it up into smaller and smaller parts in order to get to the solution. Well, here are the big takeaways from today's Writing Nonfiction Book video. Number 1, you can come up with a concept for your book. That's the big picture. Number 2, you can identify a problem that the reader wants solved. And number 3, you can break the journey down into steps and In many cases, you will be able to make those progressive steps. So you can come up with a concept for your book, you can identify a problem that the reader needs solved, and you can break the journey down into progressive steps. The big takeaway is you can lay out a plan for your book. Now, if you're an author who seriously wants to make this even easier, don't lose a single moment. Head on over to Amazon.com and check out, and you may have to do a search for this, How to Write a Book in 28 Days or Less Without Stressing Yourself to Death. Now that's kind of long, so let me break that down for you. How to Write a Book in 28 days or less without stressing yourself to death. And then if you still can't find it, put my name in, Randy Carney. But I think you'll be able to find it if you type that exact title in there. And go check it out. Look at the Look Inside feature. It's available both as an ebook and as a paperback. I hope that you find it helpful and you enjoy looking at it. Well, until another time of Walking with Randy, this is Randy Carney, wishing you the best in your writing life.